Have you ever felt stuck? You know, you've been practicing something for years. Maybe it's an instrument, a sport, a language, but you just don't feel like you're getting years better. It's super common, and honestly, it's really frustrating. But what if I told you the problem isn't how hard you're trying, but how you're trying?
There's this incredible quote that just perfectly sums this up. It suggests that if we're not careful, we aren't actually gaining new experience. We're just running the same program over and over again, cementing our old habits, flaws, and everything. Right, that's the big question, isn't it? How do we break that cycle? How do we make sure that every hour we put in actually counts so we can build 2 decades of real deep skill? Well, the answer isn't some old saying. It's actually deep inside the wiring of your brain. Okay, so let's break this down. First, we've got to understand why our brains get stuck in these ruts. We're going to call this the experience illusion. That's where you feel like you're doing the work, but you're not actually improving. And you know what fuels this illusion more than almost anything? It's this modern myth that we can multitask. We think we can practice that guitar solo while the TV is on, but oh man, the neuroscience tells a completely different story.
So what you end up with is this huge contrast. On one side, you've got deep practice. That's when you're 100% locked in, totally focused, no distractions. And on the other side, well, that's what most of us actually do. Our minds are split, right? We're kind of playing, kind of checking our phone.
Okay, so there's a really cool scientific term for why this is such a disaster for learning. It's called attention residue. Every time you switch your focus, even for a split second to glance at your phone, a piece of your brain is still thinking about that last thing. It's like a mental hangover. You're not fully present. And you're probably wondering, okay, so how long does that last? Well, get ready for this, because the research is it's mind-blowing. We're talking up to 23 minutes. 23 minutes for your brain to get fully back on track after a single tiny interruption. Think about that. One text alert can basically wreck the next quarter hour of your practice. It's crazy. Okay, so we've hammered this home. Distraction is the enemy. So, what's our ally? What's the secret sauce that actually turns focus into skill? This is where things get really cool. The answer is biological. We're calling it the myelin secret, and we're about to get into the actual nuts and bolts of how you physically build a skill inside your head.
Now, this next idea is a total game changer. See, a skill like playing that perfect solo, it's not just some abstract thought. It's a real, physical thing in your brain. It's a circuit, like actual wiring. The better you are at the skill, the better that specific wire is built. It's like having a high-speed fiber optic cable for that one task. So how do you get good insulation on that wire? Well, this is how it works. First, when you focus really, really hard on one thing, you're firing one specific circuit over and over. That's like sending a big, bright signal to your brain saying, hey, this pathway is super important. In response, these special cells wake up and they start wrapping that circuit in layers of this stuff called myelin. It's literally like putting that rubber coating on an electrical wire. And the more layers of myelin you add, the faster and cleaner that signal gets. That is what skill actually is. It's a physical thing. Okay, so the science is amazing, right? But the real question is, how do we actually do this? How do we make this happen on purpose? Well, to figure that out, let's borrow a page from the playbook of musicians trying to nail one of the hardest songs in jazz, Charlie Parker's Donna Lee.
Because this is the whole point. This method is all about sending a crystal clear message to your brain. You're basically pointing to a specific wire and saying, this is the one I need you to insulate, right here.
All right, here's the playbook. Step 1, you find that one tiny little part that always messes you up. Step 2, you slow it way down. I mean, ridiculously slow. So slow that you literally cannot make a mistake. This makes sure the circuit is firing perfectly. Third, you chop it up into even smaller bits to keep your brain from just going on autopilot. And finally, and this is crucial, you have to stay right on the edge of what you can do. It should feel a little tough, like you're reaching for it. That feeling of struggle, that's the signal your brain needs to start building.
So when you start thinking this way, practice totally changes. You're not just going through the motions anymore. You are, and I'm not kidding, a brain architect. You are physically building a better brain on purpose.
So let's boil it all down to the 3 things you absolutely have to remember. Number 1, practice is physical. You are literally building insulation around wires in your brain. Number 2, Focus is the on switch. Any distraction turns that process right off. It just stops. And number 3, the sweet spot is challenge. Pushing yourself just a little bit tells your brain exactly where to build that new insulation.
You see, this whole idea just transforms practice from this boring chore into this amazing project in like applied neuroscience. It really puts the power back in your hands. You can finally stop just repeating that same year of experience over and over and actually start building a lifetime of real deep skill. So, the only question left for you is, what skill, what circuit are you going to build in your brain next?